Hello guys, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make a time trial timer, like a speedrun timer with 3 decimals, with a personal best system. So let's get started. So the first thing you obviously want to go ahead and do is download Roblox Studio and open up a base plate. Now, just to let you know, it is highly recommended to have a bit of Lua knowledge, else it'll just be really hard to do scripts and that. Without knowing what you even have to do and how this script works. But yeah, enough talking. First, you guys want to publish the game. You don't have to enable team create. Just gonna do it like this. It just needs to be published so you can actually access game settings. So you will go to game settings. I'll just choose Avatar R6, which is way better. And here, you're going to enable studio access to API services, and you can also allow this. So you guys are going to press yes. Now, first off, we want to make our timer GUI. So we're going to insert a screen GUI and a text label. Now you can go ahead and customize this however you want. You can use this cool plugin, auto scale, to make it look better on mobile too. Now it's fixed for mobile. Now you can just customize it really however you want, like this, text scaled. I always have like a pretty cool color stroke thing in mind, and I just choose a pretty cool font like this, for example. Now you guys want to just add 2 parts, which are going to be the start part and the end part. So you can scale in stuff however you want. It really doesn't matter, just so that you have 2 of these parts. You can just change some properties. Anchor both of them. Make sure both of them are anchored. You want to turn off can collide for both of them. And now you can just customize them. I'll just make transparency like 0.5, and I'll change the color to like light green. That looks like a timer start, I'm pretty sure. And you could basically do the same thing for the end part, so like 0.5, and you can make it red. Just like this, you've gotten your first 2 parts. Now you can name them however you want. You can name them like start timer, and the other one you're obviously gonna name oh, my keyboard. Okay, you can obviously name it end part. So just name it end part. And yeah. Now inside of the replicated storage, we're gonna already insert a remote event. You can name it however you want. I'm gonna name it best time. Yeah. So the first thing you want to do is insert a local script inside of the text label, right here, and we're just gonna real quick make some variables. So we're gonna do local start time equals 0, and local current time equals 0. Then local timer stopped equals a false. That's just to fix it that if you run over the timer stop, you can't run over the, like, if you like stop the timer once and then go back to the timer start, it can detect and it can continue from 0 and not continue from the number it was when you stepped the timer in. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah. Then you'll do local run service equals to game get service run service. This is to make the timer update so that it doesn't show like timer colon and then just 0. And once you hit the end part, it'll say the time, but you can't see it while you're in the run, and that's just used to do that. Now local players equals to game get service players, and local player equals to players dot local player. Then local personal best is equal to the player, and then wait for child personal best or math.huge. So we're gonna be making this in a separate script where we're gonna actually save the data. So this is going to be a value inside of the player, which will then the value will be set to the personal best, and it will save through the data saving. So now you guys can go ahead and just get the replicated storage for so we can get the best time easier. Is equal to game get service replicated storage. Now we're gonna make get a variable for the text label. So local text label equals to script.parent, because this is inside of the text label. You can see it. You can also rename this just like timer script or anything. You can really choose a name. And now text label dot text equals to, and now you can put like timer and then string format and then %.3f, and then outside here current time, and then and then in another line you can do, like, if you want to get a separate line, you need to do a backslash and then an n, and then personal best, and then string format, and then %.3f, and then comma personal best value. So I know that seems really complicated, but that is just to instantly set. So you can see if I just click play real quick, it'll say label right now. Let me check the output. Oh yeah, so that's a warn. But why did I put a text or just text label? Text label.text. Yeah, but that will work, don't worry. So the next one is going to be personal best dot changed connect function, and in here it'll change the text label's text to like to the personal best. Like, it'll update the personal best as soon as the value is changed. So we're gonna do text label.text is equal to and then, you know, timer. You can basically copy this. Like, you can literally just copy this, and it'll automatically update the personal best dot value, because that's the only thing we need to update there. So now we're actually gonna get a function which is going to activate when the start part is touched. So we're gonna do function on start touched, and then connect. No, not connect. Sorry. And then just hit. Hit is gonna be the thing which touches the character which touches the timer start. So you're gonna make it timer stopped equals to false, because later on we'll have it so that if we touch the timer stop part, we'll set the timer stop to true, and then as soon as we go back to the timer start, it'll set to false and completely restart. And now you can do start time equals to tick. So it'll basically get the tick time, which is actually, wait, I'm not sure about the exact date, but it's like the time that elapsed when yeah, the Unix epoch. I think tick is I think that Unix epoch was like 1970 or something, but that doesn't really matter. We only need a big number. which is going to be subtracted at the end anyway. And then we're going to do current time equals 0. That's just going to reset the time to 0 so that it doesn't continue from the where the timer stopped. Now we're going to use the run service to display the time constantly. So we're going to run service.renderStapt. You can see this here, renderStapt. Connect function. Oops. Connect function. Now you're just going to do if not timer stopped, then, and then you're going to do to current time equals to tick minus start time. So that is going to get a new tick, and it's going to subtract it with the start time. So basically how that works, if this would for example be 5, so tick would display 5, and then like a second later this will execute. This would obviously return 6 because it's always in seconds, and it will be minus 5, and that's 1, so it'll display 1. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you want to put text label dot text equals to, and then this, basically. Yeah, that's basically it for this function. We don't really need anything else here. And now we're going to do a function for the other parts. So function on end touch and then hit. So now if not timer stopped, then this is basically going to only execute if the timer is not stopped, because else it'll if we will like instantly make timer stop true. Oops, timer stop equals to true. So that like 1 frame after, it won't also execute this whole block of code. So we're gonna do if current time is above 0 and current time is below personal best dot value, then, and then personal best dot value equals to current time, and replicated storage dot best time fire server. Oops. We're gonna fire the server so that we can get the current time, or the personal best dot value, but it's gonna be the current time in this case, which will fire the server, and we'll be able to get it in the server script. So now below here we're gonna set the text label text to the same thing again, so to this. And yeah, that's already gonna be pretty much everything for this timer script. The only thing we'll need to add is this like workspace dot start timer dot touched connect, and then on start touched, and then do the same thing with the end timer. So end part dot touched connect on end touched. Make sure it's not the function, so it's not with brackets, it's without brackets. And yeah, that should be it. So now if we go ahead and go into the game real quick. Okay, for some reason it shows label. This also doesn't work. Let me get the output. There's no errors. It should work, so let me just... Okay, we're just gonna go on with the server script, so that we'll be able to have everything at once, and then we'll be able to try and get the error. So we're gonna put a script inside of the server script service. That's gonna be like data store or something. You can name it whatever you want, data store or data saving. and you're gonna go ahead and basically make a script to save the data. So first off, we need to get the data store service, which is a service from Roblox Studio which saves the data. So local data store service is equal to game get service data store service, and then local data store is equal to data store service get data store. And now here you can write pretty much everything you want. If you write personal best for example, the data store will only get the data from the data store called personal best. And if you want to reset everyone's data, you can change this to 1, like personal best 1, or just personal best. You can just change the text in here and it'll reset the data. So it'll get data from a new name. So yeah, that's basically how that works. And now we're just gonna get the replicated storage again. Game get service replicated storage. And now we're gonna basically add a value if a player joins. So game.players.player added connect function, and then PLR or player, it doesn't matter. I usually use PLR, I like it. And then local best time equals to instance.new. To be honest, this doesn't matter, it's just a variable name. But in here, it has to be a number of value. And then after this comma, you can put PLR. That'll automatically parent it to the player. You could also add it in a new line, like best time the parent equals to PLR. But that is not necessary. You can literally just save a line by putting it like this. And now best time dot name equals to personal best, for example. And then best time dot value equals to data store, and now it's gonna get a sync. And in here we're gonna put time underscore or best underscore and then dot plr dot user ID. So it'll get different data for every single player by getting their user ID. That way, if they change their username, their data will not be lost. You could also do plr dot name, but then if a person changes their username, the time will reset. So you're gonna put plr dot user ID, because the user ID never changes. Or math.huge. If it doesn't find any data, it's gonna set it to math.huge. So now replicated storage, wait for child, best time, and then dot on server event. So if this fire server, where is it? Fire server. If this executes, it's gonna make a function. So PLR and like personal best, for example, like this. Now you're just gonna set the value from this thing, personal best player dot plr dot personal best dot value equals to personal best. So that's just gonna also update the value of the number value, the value of the number value. It's just gonna update to the new personal best, because it'll always fire the new personal best no matter what. So now it's gonna do game.players.player removing connect function plr. Oops, connect function plr. So this is basically gonna execute if a player leaves the game. So we're gonna do data store and then set async this time, and then you can put a best underscore dot plr dot user ID. We're gonna also put plr dot personal best dot value. So this is the data that gets saved, and this is the name of how it's supposed to get saved. And now we're just gonna do game bind to close function. This is gonna execute if, yeah, you can see it here. Binds a function to be called before the game shuts down, which is basically so this executes if for example servers shut down or you Alt F4 out of the game. I think that would also fire bind to close. So basically, if the game, if the server shuts down before it says that you leave the game. So we're gonna do for underscore or I or something, a player or PLR in pairs, and then game.players get players or get children. I'm gonna do get players do. And now in here you can also save the value, so it'll just detect every single player. And yeah, now like this it should work. Oops, okay. Okay, Alt Shift P. Alt Shift P. No, Alt P. So, let me just go on the output and see if any errors occur. So, let's see. And yeah, as you guys can see, timer is 0.000 and personal best is inf. Inf is basically infinite. It's because of the huge thing of the math.huge. Math.huge is basically so big that Roblox just says it's infinite. So, let's just see. We're going to touch this and the timer starts. If we touch it again, it restarts. And also, it shows like the exact time. And if we go ahead and touch this, it's going to end the time and it's going to show a personal best. And now if we try and do that again, it'll say 0.514. Boom, 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 boom. You can basically do whatever you want. I'm going to do /e dance 2 bep 0.366. Let's go. Just like this. Boop. No way. Now, sometimes, like, usually, if you would leave and rejoin, it'll just reset the data. But with the data source script we wrote, we're going to go back in, and it should say that the personal best is 0.361, and yes, it does. So yeah, that was it with this video. If you want like more parts, then make sure you subscribe and tell me in the comments. I have 2 more ideas which I could make. The first one's probably like to make it multi like so that there's not just one obby, but there's another course. So yeah, I could do that. And the other thing that's a bit more complicated, and would probably also need a database if we want it to save, is going to be a leaderboard, an automatic leaderboard. And you could add like things like an admin panel to remove times from that leaderboard and stuff. But that's just really advanced, and I'll only go over it if you guys really want me to. But anyway, yeah, that was it with this video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see ya. Bye bye.